$10 up, $10 for $10 a month. All you got to do is grab some of this envelope.
Hey, Atara. You hear me?
Yeah.
Have you? Why haven't you on the group?
Shut up.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. What'd you say?
I said, why haven't you joined the group yet? The Telegram group.
You sent me the link for it?
Yeah, you got to check it. You got to check the first email I sent.
Uh,
Did you read? Did you read through the whole email? I think she frozen. Rashad, can you still hear me? You can still hear me? Rashad, can you still hear me? You can hear me? Can y'all hear me? If y'all can hear me, take your phone off mute real quick. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Ariella, shalom, shalom. Can you hear me? Courtney, what's going on? Peace, love, light, and prosperity. Can y'all hear me? I want to make sure y'all can hear me.
I can hear you.
Who was that?
Courtney.
Oh, okay. We'll give it 4 more minutes. We're going to start. On the building today. Good job, y'all. Atar, can you hear me? Atar, can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you.
Courtney, Jay, Ariella, are y'all able to show y'all faces? Yeah, I need to see them, make sure my students is paying attention now. Make sure nobody dozing off. How everybody feeling? How your week went?
Busy but good.
Hey, busy is good, right? Good. Who else? How y'all week been?
It's been good.
Good. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're missing somebody. Actually missing a few people. Can everybody see the presentation clearly? Give me a thumbs up. You ain't gotta come off mute. Give me a thumbs up if you can see it clearly. Jay, Rashad, Atara, Ariella, can y'all see the screen clearly? Or over here just smashing.
No, I don't
He
see
just
it.
a fool. You can't see the screen?
Nah.
What do you see right now?
I see like myself, like the camera.
What you see now?
Still the same thing.
What about now?
I'm still seeing me. And then it says like right next to me says you're in the show. Everyone can see and hear you.
Interesting. Anybody else? Do y'all see the presentation? Anybody
I
see
can
the
see it.
presentation?
I can see it, yes.
Did I miss clicking on something? I'm not sure.
No, you should have seen it. You shouldn't have to do anything, actually. Tar, do you see the presentation?
I mean, I see the welcome screen. Welcome to the Etonic Health Course screen. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay. Courtney, can you see it?
Yes, I can see it.
Jay, can you see it? Jay, I can't hear you. Can you see the screen? Can you see the presentation? You say, welcome to the Edenic Health Course. Can Jay hear me? Nay, you on the line?
Yes, yes. Peace, peace.
Peace. Can you see the screen? Welcome to the Edenic Health Course.
Yes, I can.
Chrissy, you there?
Yes.
Ooh, can you see the screen?
Yes.
Ariella, you there? Can you see the screen? I can't hear you.
Why don't you try that big computer?
Ariella, you got to take it off mute because I can't hear you. Nope, I still can't hear you. Hey, does everybody see to their right? It says, it should say like add a destination to post comment. Y'all see where it says post comment at? Everybody see that to their right?
I see something that says comments and private chat.
Okay, cool. As long as y'all can see that. Oh, she said when she turned the mic on, she lose sound. Okay. So we just lost somebody else. All right. I saw your comment, Ariella, so I heard you. I saw what you said. Look, you can hear me though, right? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. And you can see the presentation? All right. Chrissy, you good?
Yes.
Is it kicking y'all off or something? No? Okay. All right, we about to get started, y'all. So, first and foremost, I want to start out by saying all praise to the Most High, that we are here, that we made it to the beginning of the week, that we made it to another day to breathe, that we made it to another day to live, and claim our life back. And I want to give honor, and I want to give a recognition to you all to taking the steps to wanting to learn not just about healthy eating, but really understand and understand who you are on a genetic level. One part of why we are sick as a people because we do not understand who we are. A lot of us, make sure y'all mute y'all mic. There we go. A lot of us have been taught wrong, and a lot of us have been taught from a Eurocentric perspective. A lot of us have been taught what health is from the genetics of a Caucasian, or a Caucasoid, and I understand from their perspective, seeing that they are the ones who are over this kingdom and who are running the information, as the saying says, who controls the information controls the people. And so, and with all respect, as they should, but with that same respect, we gotta respect ourselves and know ourselves enough that how we are created and how we are made is totally different than any other people. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing to fear about saying that. We have no problem saying that a tiger is different than a lion, even though they're both cats. So we should have no problem saying that the genetics of a Negroid is different than the genetics of a Caucasoid, because that's a true fact. There's nothing interlining or underlining about it. There's nothing racist about it. And so, and here's the thing, this class is not just for our people, it's for anybody who would really want to learn, because at the end of the day, even them, they have to know the truth. You understand that? So y'all make sure y'all have y'all pens and papers, because this is how you heal on a genetic level. A lot of people that you see coming up, well, first of all, I'll give y'all a little background about myself. I've been in the health field for 7 years now. It'll be 7 years in June. Started back in June 2015. I started as a personal trainer. Really started with me trying to just get in shape myself, love myself again, and really get back into feeling good about myself. And so through that, my transition and my results, I had friends and family, obviously, who saw the transition, who wanted to hop on board. And from that point, I really thought that I'm like, okay, I can actually turn this into a business. So I was actually personal training from 2015 all the way up to 2000, really, to be officially like done with it. I trained up until 2019. But I've been learning, I transitioned and learning about natural health back in 2017. I'm pretty sure we all seen the documentary, What the Health. That seems like that's everybody's transition or gateway to understanding what true health and wellness is. And so from there, I started studying under Dr. Sebi and his teachings. Then I went to start studying Dr. Layla Africa's teachings. Then I started studying Dr. Patrick Dales, or Master Herbalist Dr. Patrick Dales. It was a sister I started learning from. Her name is Malaka. She's up in New York. And then my final transition of a teacher was Yaki Hickman, which I'm pretty sure all of us are very familiar with in this day and time. And so I can say I got a pretty healthy meal when it came to understanding and overstanding and understanding what true health is. As you know, for the most part, a lot of those teachers teach from a different perspective, but in the same perspective at the same time, if that makes sense. They all have their slightly different methods of healing, but overall, it's for the same goal, which is to get an intercellular cleanse, an intercellular reboot, and a revitalization of the cells. And so that's what I want to teach y'all today. And it's not, this class, and believe it or not, it's not just going to be about food. It's not just going to be about herbs. It's not just going to be about vegetables. I'm going to teach y'all even how culture has a major impact on our health. So y'all make sure that y'all got y'all pens and y'all papers. We about to go over some instructions. And if y'all have any questions, please save them for the end of the class, which we're gonna go over the instructions. And or you can, as y'all see to your right, you should be able to leave a comment, and I'll read the comments at the end if you have a question, and we can go from there. So let's move forward. So everybody can see the screen, right? If you can see the screen and you can see your comments on the left, on the right, type in the comments a number 7 if you can see the screen. If you can see where it says welcome to the Edenic Helps course, put a 7 in the comment section. All right, I need 2 more 7s. Chrissy and Nay, can y'all see the screen? Chrissy and Nay, can y'all see the screen? Chrissy and Nay, if y'all can see the screen, please drop a 7 in the comments on your right. Chrissy and Nay, y'all there?
Yeah, it's not allowing me to put a 7 in the comments.
Okay, but you can see the screen, all right?
Yes.
Nay, what about you?
I think you gotta click private chat because I don't think you can chat when you, or you can type when you click on the comment button.
Nay, can you hear me? Oh, there we go. Okay, good job. Okay. So as long as everybody can see the screen. All right, let's get it. All right, so instructions and rules for the class. Must have pen and notebook at all times. All students must be on time for class. This will be the latest we will ever start. Any other time, we will always start 2 minutes after the time. 2 minutes after the time. Next, if you miss a class, you will not be allowed an extra class to make up for the missed classes. All classes will be recorded and sent via email. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to be putting it on my YouTube, but it's going to be private, so you all will be the only ones to get it. There will be a test given before every class, so be sure to study even after the previous class. All questions should be asked at the end of class for time's sake unless teacher opens the floor for questions, which I will do at time. Unless called upon, please keep video on mute. So we're going to do a real quick test. The first question for everybody, let's see if we can get it all. Let's see if we can get it all. I'm going to call Rashad out. Rashad, can you list all the books that I said that y'all need to get that I put via email?
I remember it was alkaline herbal medicine, alkaline plant-based diet, the second brain. It was, I don't remember every single one by heart, but I do have them all like written down. I just ordered all of them actually. It was one by The Human Body.
Good. I
remember the name started with the S.
Good.
So that's 4. That's 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
You had Encyclopedia for Herbs.
Good.
So that's 5.
We got 2 more. 2 more.
Okay. I said the second brain, right?
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
You said the second brain, you said alkaline herbal medicine, you said encyclopedia of herbal medicine, and you said the human body.
Okay, I'm trying not to look at the look at the phone for the other 2, but oh yeah, the electric body. Good electric.
Job.
Body electric. That's number 6,
job.
right?
Yeah, one more.
Trying to remember the last one.
Who can help him out? That was a good job. Very good job. Anybody can help him out with the last one?
The mucusless diet.
Good job. Now,
That's right.
Courtney, did you look at the email?
No, I've been trying to order them, so I just happen to remember.
Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. And yes, everybody needs to get it. Not just for the sake of this class, but those are the foundational books that's going to help carry you further in your walk of being a healer, and whatever fashion that is, whether you want to be a healer in herbs, whether you want to be a healer in acupuncture, whether you want to be a healer in aromatherapy, whether you want to be a healer in any field of healing. Those books, when you understand and understand the body, will help you further in your healing journey. Okay? All right, so let's get started. All right. What is holistic health? A lot of people don't really understand what holistic health is. It's like a fad now. When you ask somebody what it is, they just simply say it's the mind, body, and spirit. And it's more than just that. That's just what it is on a simple level. That's just what it is on a simple level. But it's more to that. That's why I say I'm not just going to be teaching you about the mind or just about the body. You need to know what holistic means on a root level. So what is the concept of holistic health? Holistic health is an approach to life that considers multidimensional aspects of wellness. It encourages individuals to recognize the whole person, physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, intellectually, and spiritually. So when you don't have these things intact, can we say that you're a whole person or that you're healthy? And the answer is no. These things must agree all together. For one to be on the optimum level of holistic health, you must be able to function on a high level in all these things. Otherwise, the opposite of healthy or let me say ease, the opposite of ease is what, Ariella? Oh, she can't hear. Okay. I forgot she can't speak. Atara, what's the opposite of ease? Oh, there we go. Good. Ariella. You know what, Ariella? That's what we're gonna do. When I call in, you just go ahead and put that in chat. So Ariella's answer was the opposite of ease is dis-ease. Literally. To be opposite of balance is imbalance. Okay? And this is what they're telling you in the Institute for Holistic Health Studies and these top ranked colleges, Western Connecticut State University. Now, the aspects of holistic health, going through it again: physical, emotional, social, spiritual, mental. When it comes to holistic health, we are looking beyond the physical body and are addressing physical, emotional, social, spiritual, and intellectual health. Now, I want to ask y'all something. When you go into your doctor and you're getting a checkup, are they asking you, Atara, how is it at your home? What does your environment look like? Is the doctor asking you that?
No, only if you mention it to them, but most times they don't.
They don't. They don't. To Rashad, when you're going to the doctor, are they asking you how is your relationship with your mother, your father, or your wife, or your children? Are they asking you that?
Never heard it.
Yet, according to their definition, that's actually part of your health. So why are these questions not asked when it comes to the black man and black woman's health? And we have to understand that we are the guardians of our community and gate. And this is why we got to talk about these things, because going to any doctor, whether they are ignorant of knowing their program or not, it is a plot against our community. It's a fact. And I know a lot of us have been so suitified into their education to step away from it and go back to an ancient path. It sounds crazy. and it can sound like a scary thing. But for anybody who's already taken the steps to heal themselves, you understand that that's the greatest thing you can do is take back your life. Everybody understand that? If you understand, just drop a 7 in the chat so we can move on. Drop a 7 in the chat. If you cannot drop a 7, just say you got it. Okay, cool. Let's move on. And they messed up my whole slide. Okay, anyway, it says the deeper meaning of health. Now, again, this is all I wanted to show y'all from their perspective so y'all can actually see what they're hiding from you all. You understand? Matter of fact, so it won't be looking so messed up. Let me do this real quick. Let me stop sharing this. Y'all give me a 1 minute. Hold on. Okay, we can do it like this. This is a lot better. I don't even want to be presenting nothing like that. All right, so y'all, I'm gonna get off the screen real quick to share it. So y'all gonna have to come off and tell me if I can have a narrator real quick. I'm about to share my screen. Get it again. I'm about to share my screen. And Rashad, when y'all see the presentation again, I need everybody to drop a 7. Rashad, you should see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, including yourself, 7 sevens. So once y'all see my screen, when the presentation up, Rashad, if you can come off when you see 7 sevens and let me know. All right, she'll be up. Can everybody see the presentation now?
Yeah, I see it.
Do you see 7 sevens, which includes yourself?
You talking about in the private chat section?
Yeah. Do you see the chat at all?
Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
Do you see everybody commenting 7s?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. All right. So the deeper meaning of health. Health, according to the World Health Organization, is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease and infirmities. So what they're saying is to be healthy is not just dealing with the physical state or dealing with your cells being in a certain balance. Your health has everything to do with your mental, physical, social, what you can say, your psychological, and even your spiritual well-being. That's how a person is judged as being healthy or not. Okay? It says a variety of definitions have been used for different purposes over time. Health can be promoted, encouraging healthful activities such as regular physical exercise, adequate sleep, and by reducing or avoiding unhealthful activities or situations such as smoking or excessive stress. So now we're seeing that one part of our disease could be stress. And your stress can actually be due internally and externally. And you're going to see later in this program how stress can even affect your organs to the point that your organs or even your glands can release a certain chemical called flight or fight that can actually be poisonous to you, which will be dumped off into your blood, which then, if it's dumped into your blood, that means it's getting fed to the cells, which are burning the cells, which in turn creates something called acidosis, which we'll go through. So I hope y'all understood that. So health is not just a physical thing. It's dealing with the mental, the psychological, the spiritual, and the social aspect as a whole of what holistic means. Even when you go into the definition of health, the definition of, or the etymology of health means to be whole. That's why you see now people are saying holistic health, because the actual definition or the etymology of the word health is to be whole. And we all know that food is just one aspect of health. So y'all have to understand that, especially for those who are actually starting to teach other people about health. It's not just about what you eat. I have been a testimony, and I've seen people where you can eat healthy, plant-based and all, and still get sick. I'll give y'all a little story. About 2 years ago, I had 2 clients. Both of them had the same exact disease. So with that, obviously, when you understand health or dealing with certain diseases, there's a certain protocol you must put them on. So I put both of them on the same protocol because they both was dealing with this certain disease, the same one. So the disease was herpes, HSV1. So one of them, after 30 days, was healed. They said they felt good. They read books. They didn't watch TV. They just kind of stayed to themselves and really took the time to heal and enjoyed it. The other person had issues. They were struggling to really desire to eat fruit. They would only eat a certain amount during the day. And it really put them in a bad mindset. And they did not heal. And that showed me right there. They had the same exact herbs and everything. That showed me right there that environment plays a major key on a person healing. Because I can give you herbs and I can give you fruit. But if your environment is not right, then it will not matter. Y'all need to write that down. Because y'all need, when y'all talk to people, when y'all teach people, that should be one of the major things that you talk to people about. I can give you herbs, I can give you fruit, but if these 2 things that I'm about to say are not in alignment, then the healing will not work. If you are not aligned with the will of the Most High, it will not work. If your environment is still toxic, I mean toxic people, toxic relationships, toxic job, anything. If anything is toxic around you while healing, you will disrupt your healing. And the herbs won't even be able to respond to the cells like they should, because you are putting out too much acid or fight or flight chemicals within the body. So it won't even give the herbs a chance or the fruit a chance to do its due diligence for you. Okay, everybody understand that? Y'all can come off mute. Well, I can't see y'all, so we're gonna do it like this. If you can understand, just say okay, or say I understand.
I understand.
I understand.
I understand.
I understand.
Okay, good. So it says this: some factors affecting health are due to individual choices, such as whether to engage in a high-risk behavior, while others are due to structural causes, such as whether the society is arranged in a way that makes it easier or harder for people to get necessary healthcare services. So I want to ask y'all something. Looking at the construct of America, looking at the system that has been set up, and I want y'all to come off mute to answer this. Do you think that environment is the best environment for us as a people to heal? Huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. Not at all. When you look at the actual structure of it, from the concrete jungle to the 9 to 5s constantly being within the buildings, knowing we the children of the sun, to you constantly having to stress about making it to work on time, stressed about paying your bills, stressed about if you can pay for school, stressed about food, stressed about clothes. You just stress the hell out on all levels. Can that environment, can it be conducive to your healing? And the answer is no. Now, am I saying that you can't heal in that environment? No, I'm not, because obviously I'm a witness that you can heal. But what I am saying is this: if you ever have read the Bible before, and think about all the plagues and the sickness that was going on in Egypt, and how the land of Goshen was covered and still full of light, and death did not touch it. Because the environment that was created for the children of Israel was set for death to not touch it. You can do the same thing in your home. As we said before, we know we are children of Africa. We are from Africa. We descended from Africa and the Africans, right? And so a lot of us cannot make it to Africa. But here's the thing. You can't create Africa at home. You can't create a place, an environment based upon the ancestral genetic information at home. You can create a place of peace, harmony, vibration based upon the ancient landmarks and information of your ancestors. You can, but you have to be willing to do so, because the external environment around you, the minute you step out the door, is meant to keep you in a stress-filled environment. So you have to create the environment for yourself. Okay? So it says this. Still, other factors are beyond both individual and group choices, such as genetic disorders. And the only genetic disorder we have is PTSD, post-traumatic slave syndrome. That's the only thing that we are dealing with. We are still to this day carrying the fear, the trauma, the pain of our ancestors who was put in slavery. We are. Let me tell y'all a story. Over here in Tanzania, for y'all don't know, I'm in Tanzania, East Africa. Here in Tanzania, they have these cars, right? And these are some regular cars. These cars have the flashing lights, like the flashing police light, like red, blue. It took me about 5 months to get over that fear factor kicking in. Because every time I would see it, I would think it's the police. And that fear factor started to kick in, or that anxiety started to kick in, or that frustration started to kick in, because that's what my environment that I grew up in, I was used to. Which showed me that I'm still dealing with certain traumas even after I left that environment. But now I'm in a more peaceful environment where I can deal with it head on from a peaceful mindset. So I can tell you, even from the effects of living in America, even being in East Africa, it still affects me to this day. That's how you know how embedded what they have done to us is in our genetic DNA. I'm out of America, thousands of miles away. Yet the fear factor within my DNA kicked in that was the police, knowing it wasn't. So what does that tell you? That the environment has altered the genetic instructions of my DNA due to post-traumatic trauma from my ancestral line years and hundreds of years ago, and I'm still dealing with it to today. So understand, when you're cleansing, you are not just cleansing the disease, the physical disease like cancer or kidneys. You are also cleansing your genetic structure from trauma and pain. You are literally cleansing your genetic structure from literally oppression, depression, and suppression. And it's embedded deep in us. Deep. So it says, it says the history of defining health. The meaning of health has evolved over time in keeping with the biomedical perspective. Early definitions of health focused on the theme of the body's ability to function. Health was seen as a state of normal function that could be disrupted from time to time by disease. An example of such a definition of health is a state characterized by anatomic, physiological, or psychological integrity, ability to perform personally valued family, work, and community roles. Now I'm gonna ask y'all a question. I'm gonna ask Nay, How is the family structured for the Black community in America?
Can you repeat that one more time? I was in the kitchen, but I heard you call my name.
I was asking, based upon what they say health is, it's the integrity to be able to function or perform personally value based upon family, work, and community roles. My question to you is this: how is the family structure in the Black community in America?
Detrimental.
Detrimental. Courtney, is the Black community working or functioning at its highest potential?
No, it's not.
Atara, do we actually have a community in the Black community as a whole?
Not a strong one.
Huh?
Not a strong one, no.
We don't. Not a strong. Based upon the history of defining health and based upon what true health is, we can say wholeheartedly, not by our own definition, but based upon the criteria of WHO, which I highly suggest y'all study the WHO, but based upon the definition of defining what health is organically from its natural foundational meaning, the Black community is unhealthy. So you as a healer, and whatever your function in healing is, you as a healer have a responsibility in all of these aspects of health to help your people heal so that we can be whole again as a people. And that's what true health is. So it says the ability to deal with physical, biological, psychological, and social stress, which we do not deal at all with any of these factors. It says in 1948, in a radical departure from previous definitions, the WHO proposed a definition aimed higher, linking health to well-being in terms of physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease and infirmities. Although this definition was welcomed by some as being innovative, it was also criticized by being vague, excessively broad, and was not constructed as measurable. I'm gonna go to the next slide. I ain't gonna read the rest. Y'all get the point. Next, environment that produces life or death. Now let's go to what environment is. Understand this. You have an inward environment, and then you have an outward environment. Now I'm gonna ask, see if somebody can take a good guess. Rashad, what is the first environment in the body?
First environment in the body.
Think about what an environment consists of before you answer that.
Okay.
What is the first environment in the body? You got it?
I'm still thinking.
Okay, I'm gonna open up to the. You can still think, but I'm gonna open up to the floor. Can anybody tell me what is the first environment in the body?
I was thinking along the lines of it being the mind.
Exactly, your mind. Your mind is your first environment because that's where thoughts are produced.
Right.
That's where emotions are produced. That's where messages are produced. That's where you create perspective at. That's where you cultivate your outward environment. So your first environment is your mind because it is your mind that creates everything outside of you. Y'all get that? Just give me a yes if y'all get that.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So the term environment has been derived from a French word which means environner, which means to surround. So what surrounds you? Music surrounds you. People surround you. Family surrounds you. Relationships surround you. Education surrounds you. Movies surround you. Jobs surround you. So are we saying that your environment, your social life can define one's health? And that social life or that environment can produce life or death? Yes, it can. No matter what text you want to live, you want to look into, everything when it comes to sound, anything created, the power of the tongue has the power to produce life and death. So even those things around you, even what a man speaks can define life or death. So it says this, it refers to both abiotic, physical, or what they use the word non-living, but we're going to replace it with spiritual. Abiotic, meaning physical or spiritual, and biotic, which means living environment. The word environment means surroundings in which organisms live. Now, don't you have organisms outside of you? Yes, because you're a living organism. Don't you have organisms living inside of you? Obviously, because a lot of us is filled with what? Cells, bacteria, and a lot of us is filled with parasites. We'll get to that too. Environment and the organisms are the two dynamic and complex component of nature. I'm gonna read that again. Environment, write this down, y'all. Your environment and the organisms within your environment, whether that be inwardly and outwardly, are two dynamic and complex components of nature or the natural state of somebody. I'm gonna say it again. One of the two dynamics that define you, your nature, is your environment and the organisms that's living in your environment, inwardly and outwardly. And they play a major component to your nature. Environment regulates the life of the organism. I'm gonna say that again. I hope y'all caught that. Environment regulates the life of the organisms, including human beings. Meaning this, depending on that environment, it will define if a person will thrive or not, live or die. And here's the crazy part. That's the same thing, not only for your cells, not only for your organs, but also for the parasites, the worms. Living a healthy life, living this life is a double-edged sword because you can either be feeding life or death. So that means that based upon what you feed yourself, you can either be starving the parasite or feeding the parasite. You can either be starving the cells or feeding the cells. You can either be building the organs or tearing down the organs. It all is based upon the environment you create internally and outwardly. You can be around people who are negative, who ain't got nothing going on with their life, who hate everybody, spewing hate, and you start to even take on that same characteristic. What's the saying? Birds of a feather flock together. Or you could be around somebody positive, full of life, full of peace, full of love, and that would define you. The first time, look, a lot of what I'm talking about, a lot of it came from experience. I remember when I really first started getting on this journey, and a lot of people around me was not eating on the plant-based living foods, was not thinking the way I'm thinking, and just wasn't moving the way I'm moving. But that was my environment. So I found myself struggling mentally. I found myself struggling mentally to continue on this life that I knew was right for me based upon my health. But then I got around some brothers and sisters who were creating a garden, all of them plant-based, all of them full of life, full of love, all of them wanted to help the community. And I found in that moment, I realized that I did not have not one inkling to want to eat bad. Matter of fact, it inclined me to even want to pursue my holistic health even more. It made me actually be proud of being plant-based versus being around certain people who eat meat and they think that's the way of life, thinking it's proteins and all that other type of stuff. You'll be in an environment feeling bad, like, man, I don't want to be the oddball out. I don't want to be awkward. But that showed me that you could be in an environment of agreement and you could be in an environment of conflict. And the only person who having a problem is you if you stay in that conflict that's against your natural living and natural thought process. And I'm pretty sure some of y'all can attest to that for those who live a plant-based life. Being around people who may not be like you, think like you, move like you, eat like you, it can be very difficult for you to be around them. Because it may rouse up temptation. It may rouse up old thoughts. It may rouse up old things that go against your nature. It is only when you remove yourself or put yourself in a better environment that you realize that it was the environment that played a major role if you were going to continue to stay in life or death. So it said environment regulates the life of the organisms, including human beings. Human beings interact with the environment more vigorously than other living beings. Ordinarily, environment refers to the materials and forces that surround a living organism. Ooh-wee. I hope y'all are paying attention. And I hope when y'all get off, y'all start really checking your environment. Because the crazy thing is when you start looking around, you'll realize, damn, if I would have made a better environment, if I would have surrounded myself with better people within my environment, I probably could have been further off in life. It's that deep. Even for ones who may be lonely, we are literally built. Our genetics is built to work as a community. So even somebody who's by themselves is just as worse or just as bad as somebody who's in a negative environment, because you are not built to be by yourself. Otherwise, you will only have one cell, but you have 150 trillion cells. So it says this: ordinarily, environment refers to the materials and forces. What can be forces? Forces can be vibrations. Forces can be energy. Forces can be spirits. So ordinarily, environment refers to the materials, meaning the carnal things, or the spirits or energy that surrounds the living organism, which we all have energy flowing through our body. You got that so far? Just say yes. I was trying to figure out something deep you gotta say, but I couldn't figure it out. Y'all got that? Say yes.
Yes, got it.
Yes.
Good. Let's keep going. All right. So the next part, which a lot of people do not hit on, is understanding what is the entirety of holistic health. And it's wrapped up in one word: homeostasis. Who can tell me the root word of homeostasis? Homeostasis. What's the root word of homeostasis?
Would it be home?
Almost. I'll give it to you. It's homo. Homo. Now, I know a lot of us in the environment, when you say homo, you think about gay. But on a scientific level, homo means oneness. Homo means oneness. So that by definition, it's telling you that every part of you must be in agreement. Just like the Bible say, when a man and woman came together, they became what? One flesh. Same thing with your body. It's not, although you may be one body, one flesh, but there are many parts to that one flesh. And that means you have a responsibility. You have a responsibility now to take care of all things a part of that community called your body. If you never thought to look at it like that way, you need to start looking at it now. Your body is a community, common unity, which your cells, your atoms have common unity with your cells have common unity with your tissues have common unities with your organs, and your organs is so common in unity that they create systems which make you, which means that you need to understand and understand every part of your body so you can stay in oneness and make every part of you happy. It's no different than a man. I don't think a good man is going to live his life without making sure that his wife and his children and his community and his parents are good. A good man would make sure all these things are good, because then that's when he would have total peace. When his wife and his children are good, he has total peace. So now I need y'all to look at it from an intercellular perspective that same way. Is each last one of your cells in a peaceful state to work for you? Is each and last one of your organs at a peaceful state to work for you? Huh? Is each one of your organs at a peaceful state to work for you? And in this type of concept, everybody, man and woman, are the head. In this concept, the man and woman are the head, because you are controlling your community. You have power over your community. You are the defining factor of how well your community is doing in the cellular, by way of not only what you speak, because it comes from the belly, but even what you put in your mouth and what you put in your ears and what you allow your eyes to digest. So when you put it in that perspective, that means you have a bigger calling and purpose than you even thought of. Because you taking care of your community within yourself is one of your first rites of passage. Because if you can't take care of yourself, for a man, how you gonna be able to take care of your woman? For a woman, if you can't take care of yourself, how you gonna nurture your man or your children? If a man and woman can't take care of themselves and in turn can't take care of each other, how you gonna teach your children how to take care of themselves on an intercellular level when you can't even do that? Everything is an example. And believe it or not, your own body is an example of a family tribal community. So let's get to it. In biology, homeostasis is a state of steady internal, physical, and chemical conditions maintained by living systems. This is the condition of optimal functioning for the organism and includes many variables such as body temperature, fluid balance, being kept with a certain preset limits. Other variables include the pH of extracellular fluid, the concentration of sodium, potassium, and calcium ions, as well as that of the blood sugar levels. So what they're saying is this is how you know if you're in good state, by checking your body temperature, by checking the fluid imbalance. And I'm going to show you how to check the fluid imbalance. Write this down. The way you can check the pH level and the fluid balance is take the kidney test. This is the kidney test. Right when you wake up in the morning, I want you to urinate. Don't drink nothing. Don't brush your teeth. Get a glass jar, a mason jar, preferably with a top. I want you to urinate in the cup. Your urine should be yellow for the most part. Yes, you got to get rid of the myth that your urine should be clear. That's a Eurocentric, westernized lie. So your urine should be yellow. I want you to keep this jar in a room temperature room that's pretty dark. Keep it for 24 hours. By the next day, you should be able to see white floaters, or you should be able to see some type of foamy substance floating in the water. If you see that, that's showing that you have good fluid balance. That's showing that your pH level, even within your kidneys, is functioning correctly. That's showing you that you're getting rid of metabolic waste. If you have yellow urine and you don't see floaters, that means you having an issue with your kidneys. Even if you urine clear and if it don't start turning yellow, that's showing you that your kidneys are having an issue. If everybody got that, say yes.
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 So I want everybody by class. By next class, I want to have a picture. I want to, cause we gonna be scientists, y'all. I want us to have a picture. Everyone, I want you to take a picture the day you urinated, and I want you to take a picture of the next day. Okay, and I want y'all to date it. By next class, I want us to do comparative pictures. That's cool with everybody?
Yep.
Yes.
All right, cool. All right. So it says this. As well as that of the blood sugar levels, and these need to be regulated despite changes in the environment, diet, or level of activity. Each of these variables is controlled by one or more regulators of homeostatic mechanism, which together, you see that? It didn't say individual, it says which together maintain life. So your blood sugar level matters. Your blood pressure matters. Your thyroid and parathyroid matters. There's not one part of your body down to your nails that don't matter. Everything matters because all works together to maintain what we call in the Hebrew chi. Some people say chi, but it means life. In the Medu Neter, they say ka, means life force. So it says homeostasis is brought about by a natural resistance to change when already in the optimal conditions. And equilibrium is maintained by many regulatory mechanisms. All homeostatic control mechanisms have at least 3 independent components for the variable being regulated. That's crazy. And don't the Bible say that? 2 or 3 witnesses establish a matter, right? So it says a receptor, a control center, and an effector. Now, the receptor is one that receives, right? The receptor would be your gut. The control center would be your brain. The effector would be the heart. I want y'all to label this. I'm gonna say it again. The receptor would be the gut. The control center would be the brain. The effector would be the heart. These are called the body's 3 brains. Yes, you have 3 brains in your body. Your heart, your mind, and your gut. Your heart, your mind, and your gut. So much so, let's say you were brain dead, or let's say you died. Did you know that your gut will still be alive? And y'all gonna find that out when you read the book called The Second Brain. If you died, your gut will still be alive. Your heart can actually still pump if you were dead. Which shows you these 3 play major factors on the well-being of your body. You have 3 brains. Courtney, what's the 3 brains?
Your gut, your brain, and your heart.
Who can actually guess what the first brain is?
The stomach.
Absolutely. The stomach. The stomach. Atara. Does your gut tell your mind that you're hungry? Does your mind tell your gut that it's hungry?
Is your mind telling your stomach that you're hungry?
Huh?
Is it that your mind is telling your stomach that you're hungry?
Not at all. Your gut actually tells your
Yeah.
mind that.
Oh, okay.
Your gut actually tells your mind that. Most of your nerves are in your gut. Anybody ever say I had that gut feeling? Y'all remember that? Man, I got this gut feeling. Most of
I didn't
your
want to think the
nerves,
obvious.
huh?
I said I didn't want to think the obvious, but I thought of that statement.
Yeah,
I thought of that statement when you asked me, but I was like, nah, I can't be.
you gotta go with that gut feeling. You felt it. Most of your nerves are in your gut. You produce the most serotonin in your gut, more so than your pineal gland. Look this up. Prove I'm wrong. I want y'all to Google that when y'all got a chance. You
Mikey.
produce.
Oh.
Yes.
Sorry, I thought you was taking a break. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, it would be natural that the stomach started producing first in the womb so the baby can, be able to break down the foods from the mother, right?
Mm-hmm. Because what is the umbilical cord attached to?
The stomach, right? Placenta,
The stomach, the
right?
placenta, which means what comes through the placenta, rather not just nutrients, but what else comes from the placenta? Information.
Ooh. Information. Okay.
Information. One of the first things created as an embryo is the gut. It's the gut. Y'all get a chance, go look at an embryo. You'll see a little black dot, which is your brain. And that thing that's attached, that tail that's attached right at the bottom, that's your gut. Let's keep going. It says homeostasis is brought about by natural resistance to change when already in the optimum conditions. And equilibrium is maintained by regulatory mechanisms. All homeostatic control mechanisms have at least three interdependent components of the variable being regulated: a receptor, which we already went over, a control center, and an effector. The receptor is a sensing component that monitors and responds to change in the environment. I got that gut feeling. Either external and internal. That's why when you scared, the first thing you feel like is somebody gonna kick you in the stomach or something that dropped on your stomach. I know some brothers that said they done felt it in their testicles before. You know what I'm saying? You have these different things, but a lot of the feeling first starts in the gut and then it translates to the brain. It says receptors include thermoceptors, which is like your armpits and stuff, or your buttocks, mechanoreceptors. So that's another thing to write down. If you ever want to really check what your real temperature is, you don't check under your tongue, you check under your armpits. Because your armpits is the actual closest thing to your parathyroid and thyroid, which helps determine the temperature of the body. So you check under your armpits. Control centers include the respiratory centers and the renin-angiotensin system. An effector is a target acted on to bring about the change back to the normal state, which is your heart. At the cellular level, effectors include nuclear receptors, which we call these melanin neurotransmitters. Melanin neurotransmitters. Why do we call it these? Because this is the messengers. Those are the ones that carry the information to the rest of your body. So it says Effectors include nuclear receptors that bring about changes in gene expression. So are you telling me based upon my environment that it can actually start to change the look of myself? Yes. Yes, because you have something called melanin. Melanin is, if it's not one of, is the most powerful chemical on this earth. And melanin cannot die. It only can conform and transform to its environment. So that means, and we can say without a shadow of a doubt, based upon this definition, it would then make sense why you would have Negroes with European minds, because their gene expression has changed due to the environment. It would then make sense of why you have Negroes who take on this mindset of a servant or servitude rather than one who rules, because the environment changes their genetic or gene expression. Went from a god to a Negro, or god to a nigga. But now we are coming in a state of looking past that and now remembering our genetic code or genetic expression, and we are coming into our God-like state now. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Give me a yes, it makes sense.
Yes.
Good. So it says this: through up regulation or down regulation, and act in negative feedback mechanisms. So you see that? Because, and here's the thing, melanin is like a gift and a curse, because it literally absorbs and it conforms to everything around it. Because there's melanin in everything. There's melanin in the trees. There's melanin in the grass. There's melanin in the soil. There's melanin in your eyes. There's melanin in your fingertips. There's melanin in your skin. There's melanin in your hair. For brothers, there's melanin in your beard. You would not be anything without melanin. Even a white man, he has enough melanin, believe it or not, to be able to be somewhat stable. To be somewhat stable. And grow a beard or grow certain color eyes, because even the color blue or green comes from the color hue. So you see that? Everything around us is melanin. And we are the defenders and the guardians of this genetic code that we have received from the heavens above, which means that we have a higher responsibility to not only protect it, but to keep it at a balance so it will not conform to anything beyond its nature. Because melanin is a hell of a drug, believe it or not. It goes with the wind if you do not put it in check. Let's keep going. Let's go deeper now. So what are you? What exactly are you made of? Are you just black? Are you just melanin? Are you just a Hebrew or Kemet? Are you just a black man or African American? Sumerian and Bantu? Is that all you are based upon your skin? No, you are far deeper than that. You are far deeper than that. Let me ask Nate. I'm gonna ask Nate this question. What does you see the figure, the human figure on the right? What does that figure look like to you? Besides the human, what does when you see what's going on, what does that look like to you? Nate, you there? Nate.
My apologies. Go ahead. Say that again. I was multitasking talking to my husband.
That's okay. It's okay. You see the picture? You see the
Yes.
slide? When you see this, besides it being a figure of a human, what does this figure or what does this figure look like to you? What does it remind you of?
Woo! Inner space.
We.
A world within worlds.
A universe, right?
Because that's what we are.
Right. And your children shall be shall be like the stars of heaven. That's what we see right here. We see stars. We see lights within this human figure right here, which would make sense of why you would be called a light being. What they call non-ether being.
I wanted
Why
to
you
say
are full
that.
of light.
Yeah, I wanted to say in
Go ahead, Nick.
regards to what you said. We are bioluminescent, so science has measured this, which further backs up being a light, or ye are light, or ye are star seeds is backed up.
And here's the only problem with science: is science totally removes the Most High. And the problem with why science does that is because science, although they can measure us to a degree, they cannot measure the eternal being. So they choose to totally remove the Most High. But us knowing and having this ancient information, we are called to be greater than that and understand that we are lights. We are because he is. Okay? So let's get it. So this is what you're made of. When it comes to the root of what you are made up of elements. 62% of it being water. Oxygen, carbon, y'all write this down. Hydrogen, nitrogen, calcium, take a screenshot if you need to, phosphorus, potassium, sulfur, sodium, chlorine, magnesium, right? Carbohydrates.
Attention, your battery is running low. Please plug in the power adapter now.
Okay. These are the things that you are made of. You understand this? You are made up of elements. You are made up of elements. So for you to even live, you must match the elements with other elements. That's the purpose of the trees. So you can breathe in oxygen. That's the purpose of the sun. So you can take in carbon, what they call vitamin D, or melanin. Hydrogen within fruits. Nitrogen, calcium within the bones. Phosphorus for iron. Potassium. You need these things. You need these elements to survive in this realm. Which is why you were made in the sun. And you're called the children of the sun. Because your environment was a benefit to you. Being in the sun, having fruit trees, vegetables growing, herbs growing. Wasn't that the environment Adam was put into that was conducive to his living? Aren't we claiming we are the sons and children of Adam? So that must mean we must be carrying the same genetic code as Adam. May have been watered down now, may have been manipulated and tainted, but you have the genetic key to unlock that which has already been in you by way of coming back to the beginning. See, when you keep it very simple, very, very simple, you will see how simple healing is. The only thing or only person that makes it hard is man itself. Oh, I don't want to do that. That's too hard. It's too difficult. No, I want to eat what I want to eat. No, I want to be around who I want to be around. I want to drink what I want to drink. Yet you haven't come to the conclusion that what you're saying or what you want to be around or what you want to eat or what you want to drink is the cause of your disease. Because you are functioning simply outside of your nature. Let's keep going. So, at an atomical level, this is what you are. Some people will say this is like the six-pointed star, the Star of David, the Shield of David. This is what you are at the nucleus. This is what you are. So it says every atom is made up of three parts. Uh-oh, here we go again. Three witnesses. in various combinations. The first one I'm gonna read is neutrons. Neutrons, which carry no electrical charge, so it brings a medium. It's the balance. So although it says no electrical charge, it's because it's at a standstill, being in between the electrons and protons. Write that down. It doesn't necessarily mean it has no charge. It's standing in the gap between protons and neutrons, because too much protons can cause sickness, too much electrons can cause sickness. So it's like a stablemate. It is bringing balance to both parties. No different than when a woman and a man, when they have a child and they become one, don't we all say, once I had children, I settled down. So that means that energy got balanced. You see how you can learn community just by understanding yourselves? Electrons partying, protons partying. As soon as they have a baby, they stalemate. They're not living the life they used to live no more. They are at balance. Right? So it says, and encircling the nucleus are electrons. As y'all see, the electrons are the negative charge, which carries negative electrical charges. There are protons which carry positive charges or electrical charges. So you see here that you cannot be too positive or have so much protons, nor can you be too negative and have too much electrons. If y'all can see here, what does that remind you of? Let's say, Rashad, what does that remind you of? When positive and negative charge, what does that remind you of?
I wanted to say balance and imbalance.
Okay, we can go with that. Courtney, what does that remind you of?
I'm not sure this is what you're talking about, but it looks like a berry to me. But I don't think that's where you're going with it.
No, I'm just talking about the positive and negative charge. That's it, but that's a good one. Let's see. Who else we got around? I know Ariella can't speak. Nate, what does it remind you of?
The inside the picture or the atom?
The positive and negative charge.
Oh, okay. Balance.
Okay, balance. But I was going more with the external. Y'all too deep for me.
I'm sorry.
No, y'all good. Y'all too deep. That's good though. That's good. But I was talking about a battery.
Oh,
the battery.
Okay. Yeah, the front end and the back end of the battery.
I thought about this too at first.
And not to be funny, nasty, but the battery is almost, when you look at it, shaped like a penis and vagina at the same time. If you actually look at it, it's both in one. So why am I saying that? Because these two parts of this battery make electricity, which creates a neutron, which brings balance. Y'all following me? I know that's kind of deep and can go somewhere else, but I'm trying to tell y'all, everything outside of you was made because what's in you. I just saw this article. They literally just made a chip. They made a chip, and the base of the chip is melanin. That's wild. Wonder where they're getting it from. And this chip is supposed to help charge certain electrical things. So not only are they extracting our melanin, but they are using it literally to power this earth. That's deep.
Wow.
That's deep. So what you are looking at when you look outside yourself, you looking inside yourself at the same time. So you got a negative relationship, look within. If you getting sick, look within. If you got death all around you, look within. If you see yourself constantly falling short, look within. See, everything outside of you is just a witness against you within or for you within. Everything. Every last thing, y'all. So we got to start measuring our life by that perspective. Dang, why do I keep attracting these fake friends? Let me look within. Dang, why do I keep attracting the same men? Let me look within. Why do I keep attracting the same women? Let me look within. Let me look within. Man, why are my children not reacting to me like I want to? Let me look within. Always look within. They tell you in the scriptures, before the great judgment, examine thyself. See, we be looking over these things now, now realize this thing is an internal thing. You created your environment, whether it be messed up or not. You create your environment. You can blame all the people in the world. But as we see, it takes 2 or 3 witnesses to establish the matter. So it's something that you did too, whether that be good or bad. Let's keep going. Now let's get to, look, yo, this is so deep, y'all. And this is why, right after we go through this, you're going to see why you have a responsibility. Because what you're going to realize is although you only see one body and one person, there's many of yous within. And we about to break this down. Make sure y'all mute y'all phones. All right. Y'all phones muted? Somebody phone or my screen on mute. I can hear my echo.
Yeah, I heard the echo.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you
okay, I
good
hear
now.
it no more.
Yeah, you good now.
All right. So what we have here, everybody see number 1? Can everybody see number 1? Everybody see number 1?
Yeah.
On the screen? Just say yes if you can.
Yes.
Okay. So let's go through this. Number 1, it's called plasma membrane. I want y'all to write this down. Plasma membrane. It is the lipid bilayer in which proteins are embedded. Now, this plasma membrane is no different than the skin mucosa membrane.
Attention, your battery is running low. Please plug in the power adapter
Give
now.
me 1 minute. Y'all might grab my charger. I'm back, guys. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
All right. So as I was saying, this plasma membrane is just like your skin membrane. It's like the last layer of defense. It's the last layer of defense for the cells. So it protects the cells from outside environments like toxins, like acid, like heavy metals and bad bacteria that would sit on the cells. Y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Everybody got that? This is what you would call the cellular membrane. The cellular membrane. Y'all got that? So this is what keeps, no different than your skin. Your skin actually protects you from a lot than you think. Your skin is the biggest organism on the body. It's the biggest organism on the body. Let's go to number 2. Cytoplasm. Courtney, can you read cytoplasm for me?
I can barely see because I'm using my phone, so I can't
Oh,
really see what it says.
okay, I got you. Rashad, you got a look like you're on a computer, right? Can you see that?
Yeah, I'm on a computer. Yeah, the word is kind of
Can you
small,
see?
but I can see it though. It says semi-fluid matrix that contains the nucleus and other organelles.
Contains the other organelles. So just like your body, how your body is made up of 95% water, your cells also have water within it. It has water, it contains water within it that protects the inner cells. So your cells have cells too. Nay, I know you're gonna like this, so I want you to read the next one, number 3, if you can see it. Nay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Read number 3 for me.
Okay. This is the mitochondrion. Organelle in which energy is extracted from food during oxidative metabolism.
Good. So what this looks like is your glands. This organelle is producing energy, like the pancreas, and extracted from food during oxygenated metabolism. So it's playing your pancreas and it's playing your thyroid at the same time. It's playing your pancreas and your thyroid at the same time. The next one is called the cytoskeleton. It is called the cytoskeleton. The cytoskeleton supports organelles in cell shape and plays a role in cell motion. So this actually what helps the organization of the cell. So what we would call this is your nervous system of the cell. This is your nervous system of the cell. Number 5, which is the nucleus. It's the nucleus. So that means your cell has a brain. It's called the command center. This is the command center, y'all. That purple little shape y'all see is called your command center. It carries a brain. It's sites where ribosomes are produced, which ribosomes is your DNA. So your DNA on the most deepest and inner parts are actually stored in each one of your cells. Then you have something called the nuclear envelope, which we would call the double membrane between the nucleus and the cytoplasm. Everybody understand that so far? If you understand that, say yes.
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 And what we would call this is actually your DNA. Your nuclear envelope is your DNA. The next one is the nuclear pore, opening embedded with proteins that regulate passage into and out of the nucleus. Same way you have pores. The same way you have pores, your cells have pores as well. Then you got something called ribosome, which is RNA, which is part of the double. Somebody put that, please. So you have the ribosome, which is small complexes of RNA and protein that are sites of protein synthesis, what we're going to call simple amino acids. Number 6, you got the Golgi complex. It collects, packages, and distribute molecules manufactured in the cells. What does that sound like? Huh? That sounds like the flow of blood. That sounds like the flow of blood, because it's your blood that delivers and distributes to your cells like iron and things of that nature. You understand that? Everybody understand that?
Yes.
Say yeah, you understand.
Yes.
Then you have, okay, got you. Then you have rough endoplasmic reticulum. Is an internal membrane studded with ribosomes that carries out protein synthesis. So these are small particles, just like the inner cells. And this all make, do y'all see now how your cells is even built like your body? Y'all hear me?
Absolutely.
Yeah, he.
Yes.
Good. Good. I'm glad y'all get it. If y'all don't, if I'm going too fast, please let me know. I want to make sure y'all get this. The next one is called the lysosome. This is the lymphatic system of the body. This is actually the gut of the body or of the cell. Well, we're going to see it. The vesicle that breaks down macromolecules. So you got to understand your food goes through a processing. So let's say you're eating a big ass burger. You're not actually eating no big ass burger. You are actually eating the inner cellular minerals or vitamins within that burger. So you thinking you eating a big ass Mondo burger with salads and lettuce and all type of things, but on the inner part, when you break it down to a micro level, you're not really eating that, which tells you that you should actually be paying attention more to what you eat, because if it depending on the nutrients and vitamins that it carries will depend if one is malnutrition or not. Would depend on one is getting minerals or vitamins or not. So you can literally be eating something that's huge and not get nothing out of it. Because when it comes down to the lysosome, even in the cells, when it comes down to the digestive system, when it comes down to the pancreas, when it comes down to these things and the usage of these foods, you will realize it's more important on an energetic and micronutritional level of what this food carries versus me getting my rocks off eating a certain food. And that is really the end all be all of what sickness is that you're not feeding your cells what it needs to even live. Therefore, it has to start to feed on itself. No different than how they put the black community in America. We weren't getting the macronutrition on a spiritual, psychological, physical, and sociological level that we were getting. Therefore, we started to feed on each other by way of killing, by way of robbing, by way of raping, and portraying the very enemy that put us in this predicament. And that's the same way your cells act when you, as an enemy, put your cells in that predicament. It's the same thing. So you are now acting like the very enemy on the outside within. Oh, we. Oh, we. So it says lysosomes, vesicles that break down macromolecules and digest worn out cell components. So this is the lymphatic system of the cells. Okay? The next we have the vesicles that contain enzymes that carry out particular reactions, such as detoxifying potential harmful molecules. The same way your pancreas releases enzymes to help break down a food so it actually can strip and take the minerals or the energy that it needs to distribute to the body or the cells. So now you see on a micro level that you are within you 150 trillion times. And then we have a bowel movement called a secretory vesicle. This secretory vesicle, which is on the far left, as y'all see, is vesicles fusing with the plasma membrane, releasing materials to be secreted from the cells. And this is the deep part about it. So where you see the vesicle, that's your buttocks. That's your butt. That's your anus. So now you see that your cells have an anus, and it releases waste, or what we call metabolic waste, or what we're going to call poop or urine. So yes, your cells also poop and they urinate, as we see here. But the difference between you and them is your cells do not have a toilet. So now, if your cells don't have a toilet, but they do poop in peace, just like a baby. I want y'all to put this in baby perspective. A baby cannot change its own diaper. It needs an outside element or source to help change the baby diaper, and not only change the baby diaper, but also wipe the baby's butt so the acid won't sit on the butt and it has an enzymatic reaction and starts to produce pimples and bumps around the butt and acidic circles around the butt due to that acid sitting on the butt too long. Well, guess what? That's the same way it is with 150 trillion cells that you are responsible for. But guess what's responsible if it's at its optimum level of wiping the cellular baby's butt? It is called the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system sends out something, and we'll go over this too. And y'all can look all this up when if you order the human body, you can look all this up. But the lymphatic system is the waste company of the body. It goes around sending out lymph nodes that goes examines and looks for dead cells. It literally eats the dead cells, and it looks for urine and poop sitting on top of the cell so it can clean it out and sweep it out. It is the grandparents of the body. It is, because the grandparents be the quickest one to change that diaper. It's the grandparents of the body. So you have a responsibility now to not only make sure that your cells are functioning right, but now you got to make sure that Big Mama is functioning right, the lymphatic system, so that Big Mama can actually go change the baby's diapers 150 trillion times. So you won't deal with something called acidosis or alkalosis. If you understand, say yes.
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 Good. Now, breaking this down, like I was speaking before, you come from atoms. Atoms make up cells. Write this down. Atoms make up cells. Cells make up tissues. Tissues make up organs. Organs make up systems, which you have 12 systems. That's kind of ironic, ain't it? 12 systems. And these 12 systems make up one big fleshly body called you. Called you. Write that down. Atoms make up cells. Cells make up tissues. Tissues make up organs. Organs make up systems, and systems make up you. You see, all these plural words make up one you. Which means you have a big responsibility to take care of this community that you have created. Keep going. So, with that being said, you are a walking instruction by design. You are a walking instruction by design. DNA stands for deoxyribonucleic acid. DNA is the nucleus of every human cell, which carries a unique set of codes, information, and instructions, which are called genes. Y'all see that? So your DNA is the nucleus of every cell. So at every nucleus of 150 trillion U's or universe or cells carry a unique set of codes and information and instructions, which are called genes, which mean this: by design, even if you look at the outward appearance, if a man or woman never said nothing, by design, you see now you carry different than everybody else. You carry a unique set of codes different than every person that looks opposite of you. So that would totally kill the argument that we are all the same when we're not. You carry a unique set of code and information, which even tells you in that alone that you carry a certain instruction that's not for everybody, but only you. But only you. This DNA is made up of chromosomes, which come from which you inherit 23 each from your parents, which they inherited from the ancestors. These tightly coiled chemicals shaped as an X and Y. The purpose of this DNA is within the information it carries a duplicate called RNA. This RNA is what ensures that the instructions, I want y'all to write down, RNA is what ensures that the instructions of the ancestors get passed down to the next generation. Say it again. RNA is what ensures that the instructions of the ancestors get passed down to the next generation, which shows you that this is very what? Sacred. So when we are around here mixing and mingling with things that are not of us, we are now tainting or manipulating the information, which now makes the message what? Distorted. So we're in a time of we are to work to purify the message. We are here to purify the information so that we may be pure again as a people. That's deep. I hope y'all know how big our responsibility is at this point. Who know how big their responsibility is at this point?
I do. It's major.
Who else? I knew that was Nate. I knew that was Nate. Who else? Who else realizing that they now have a big responsibility?
Oh, same here.
Good. So the purpose of this DNA is within the information. It carries a duplicate called RNA, which continue and form that which we call the ancestral line, which is why the first brain is the gut, because all the information is getting passed through the ancestral line called the placenta or the umbilical cord, which most people call the placenta the tree of life. It's shaped like a tree of life. So it says, when the chromosomes divide and multiplies during the growth or repair, its purpose is to duplicate, take a picture of the original, and carry the original codes through acid structures called RNA. So you see that? You may have never known the first man on this earth, but you carry the original instructions. That's deep. You may have never known or seen the ancestors who were here before slavery, but you still carry the information of them within you. Within you. So this is why. So that's why it's not merely just about food. It's about being able to repair the path and be restorers of the way so that we can get the right and purified information to pass on to the next generation, because the information that we have been passed have been distorted. It's been full of pain. It has been full of trauma. It has been full of oppression, depression, and suppression. It has been fully destroyed because of the lack of knowledge or lack of information that we have not had access to due to our environment and the culture that we have been implanted or supplanted in. So then it starts to make sense of why the prophets went to the mountains. They had to make sure they had a clear message, because sometimes your environment can can stop the message from getting to you, but it also can distort the message and then not be a clear message. So you got to step away. So let's say RNA stands for ribonucleic acid. Write that down. Which is a long single-stranded chain of cells. You see that? So hold on. You see that this strand is made up of cells. We already went through cells. Cells is a bunch of U's, which shows you that there's a community, a common unity of creating you and making sure this information is passed on through you. And I hope y'all getting that. I hope y'all getting that. It is a polymeric molecule essentially in various biological roles, encoding, decoding, regulation, and expression of genes. So this RNA is in control of coding, putting in the right code, and also it's in charge of decoding, taking away things that are not supposed to be there. And it's in control of regulating and creating you. So when you say, man, when somebody's like, man, you look like your great grandmother. You do. Because she's in you. Man, you look like your grandfather of 10 generations. Absolutely. Because they are in you. They live through you. They may not be here like how we see it, but they live through you. And the only reason their name or authority is remembered is because of you, which shows you why they had to work so hard to discontinue us from our heritage. Because if we don't have our heritage, we no longer have our power, because it is our heritage that gave us the key to our power. It's deep. Let's keep going. So what destroys the cellular DNA structure? Environmental factors, lack of oxygen to the cells due to acidosis, which you see right here. Lack of oxygen to the cells due to acidosis, not only acidosis, but what also causes lack of cells, write this down. What also causes the lack of oxygen to the cells is a messed up mucosal membrane. Is a distorted mucosal membrane. A lot of people think that mucus is the problem. Mucus is not the problem. Mucus, now what you is going to see, you're going to see mucus at the problem. You will see that. Where there's a problem, you will see mucus. That's a fact. But is mucus the cause of the problem? No. Now, if too much mucus is produced, then it can add on to the problem. But it's not the problem itself. Mucus the mucus comes from the mucosal membrane, and is literally used to be a coolant to the body. Mucus on a pH level is actually very alkaline. So it's actually used to cool the body down. Now what happens is this. When the mucus that's already sent out is not effective enough to cool down the inflammation within the body, that means the mucosal membrane has to continue to send out mucus. Now what happens is, because it's not functioning properly and the lymphatic system may be shut down, is that mucus that was sent out, rather than being a soft liquid coolant, it then starts to harden and stiffen up like glue. Therefore, the oxygen cannot even no longer get to the cells, because this blockage or this wall has been created due to a messed up mucosal membrane that's not allowing the oxygen to get in. So the next one, acid sitting on top of the cells. Now I'm gonna see who can remember this. If acids is sitting on top of the cells and not being removed, what is the problem? Courtney, what's the problem? If acids are sitting on top of the cells and not being removed, what is the problem?
The lymphatic system is not regulating.
Good job. Good job. That means your lymphatic system is not regulating the proper way and it is shut down. Very good job. Very good job. Next one. Putting the body in imbalance due to acidosis or alkalosis. Believe it or not, and we'll get into this too. That may actually be the next class. There's a such thing as being too alkaline. And what do I mean by being too alkaline? Let me pull up the defined definition for y'all. I'm going to read it to y'all. Alkalosis. Alkalosis occurs when your blood and body fluids contain an excess of bases or alkaline. You got to understand your blood is naturally acid. Your blood's acid-base balance is critical to your well-being. When the balance is off, even by a small amount, it can make you sick. Meaning this, your blood, write this down. Your blood pH level sits at a 7.35 to a 7.45. If it drops below, your blood level pH it sits at a 7.35 to a 7.45. If it drops even a little, like 7.32, you can die or get sick. If it goes higher than 7.5, like a 7.46, you can die or you can get sick. Your blood at an all time must stay at those levels. And it naturally does. It never really goes anywhere. Now, if it do, that means you're dead. If your blood drops or goes too high, you're dead. You're finished. You're finished. So that's what alkalosis is. You're going above the pH level of your blood levels. Acidosis is you going below the pH level. Now, the next one that can destroy the cellular DNA structure is calcification due to overproduction of mucus buildup. I already went over that, so I ain't got to go over it again. Next one, internal or external stress, which we already read by the WHO, which is the World Health Organization, own definition. And just to make y'all clear, calcification is this, y'all. Make sure I write this down. Calcification is the accumulation of calcium. You having an overproduction of calcium and salts that are being poured into the tissue. So anytime you have joint issues or stiffness in the bones, you're producing too much calcium. Y'all hear me? You're producing too much calcium, which then obviously will create inflammation. Inflammation is going to create your mucosal membrane from distributing mucus to try to put the flame out. And now you have the calcium stiffening up your bone on top of mucus buildup. You are literally creating a non-pathway for oxygen. Next one, and this is the great one because a lot of people don't know this. I'm talking about even to the plant-based vegans as well. Bad food combination due to wrong chemistry. That's even down to your fruits. For example, you eating watermelons with berries is bad food combination. You eating pineapples with berries is bad food combination because all these have certain purposes of working within the body, and you can literally disrupt the body's balance by mixing chemicals that's not made to be eaten at the same time. You eating vegetables with fruits, bad chemistry. You eating vegetables with rice or meat, bad chemistry. bad chemistry. And not only bad chemistry, but you're going to cause a backup within the body because your body is going to choose what's the most easiest to break down. So obviously, fruits or vegetables would be the easiest to break down. So if you're eating these things with meats and carbs and these beans that are acidic to nature, guess what's going to be sitting there till everything else is broken down? Those beans, that rice, and that meat, which means it's going to start to decay. And if you've ever been one to throw something away and it's been there for a minute and open it up and there's flies, that's the same thing that happened in your body. That's the same thing that happened in your body. And last but not least, one of the top two things that will destroy the cellular DNA structure is shut down kidneys and lymphatic system. As we went over, if your kidneys is down and not filtrating correctly, and it's not filtrating the metabolic waste by way of urine, guess what? It backs up the lymphatic system. If the lymphatic system is backed up, guess what else going to be backed up? Your cells. If your cells is backed up, guess what then is going to be backed up? Their cellular structure. If their cellular structure is backed up, your DNA will then at that point be disrupted. It will be disrupted. So, with that being said, family, stop sharing my screen. Everybody hop on. Everybody hop on. Let me see y'all faces, man. Let me see y'all faces. Let me see everybody's faces. Let me see everybody's faces. Nate, Chrissy, let me see y'all faces.
I'm unable to get on camera.
All right. So, with that being said, do we have any questions?
I do.
We have any questions. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm still getting the books for class or whatnot, but I do have access to some of them. In which book would I be able to read about correct food combination? Because I'm really interested in that. I mean, I obviously, I really hate mixing vegetables and fruit. I've been knew that didn't go together. But I would like to see a pyramid list, or something like that. Are one of these books going into detail on that?
You have alkaline herbal medicine that goes into that. And you have the alkaline plant-based diet.
Okay, thank you.
And the mucusless diet healing. That I ain't gonna lie, that's a banger. That goes into that too.
Okay, bet.
Anybody else got a question? I should have a whole bunch of questions right now. Or you can do what we do. Anybody got any questions or comments? Let me say
that. Okay, so when you went into the alkalosis, that really brought another perspective for me. When you showed the picture of the positive and negative within the cell structure, and it really brought it into, because at first I said balance, but but basically, balancing the acid and the alkalinity within the body is what brings forth perfect holistic health within the body. And I knew that the cells were their own world within worlds, and they had their own system to survive and etc. I say the body is like it's Star Wars going on inside of the body, because the cells, healthy cells, attack parasites and stuff like that. So that just brought when you brought that up, the balance of the alkaline and the acid, that really brought another perspective for me. Also, when you spoke about the calcification is directly connected to arthritis, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. You probably gonna have to put your question in, or comment in the comment section. Anybody else while we waiting on? Anybody else? Got any questions, comments? Courtney, Chrissy, Rashad, Atara, anything? Y'all got anything for me? Ariella, are you writing?
Definitely a lot of information today. Um, very valuable information. That's all I have to say. That was just a lot. I'm flipping through my 8 pages of notes. It was very, very valuable. I appreciate it. And it's only day one, so I can just imagine.
Good, good. Well, what, 8 pages? That's good. I mean, you wrote down everything. You almost got a book.
Oh, I have another question. So,
Yes.
regarding the blood acid base, blood level going up and down, that's blood sugar, right? Or high blood pressure and low blood pressure?
Absolutely, yes.
Oh, it's both of them?
Mm-hmm. So you got your
Okay.
blood sugar levels and you got your high blood pressure. Your blood sugar
Okay.
levels is based upon your pancreas. High blood pressure is based upon your thyroid and parathyroid.
Okay, blood sugar, pancreas, and blood. What was the other one? Oh, I forgot.
Your blood pressure is based upon your parathyroid and thyroid.
Okay,
So y'all
blood
know,
level.
and your, I'm sorry, and your parathyroid, thyroid, your adrenal glands, and your kidneys.
Thyroid, adrenal glands.
When the blood pressure is diastolic and systolic, we'll go over that another time. But that when you read that, that's another thing. Write this down. When you see those numbers of high blood pressures, that's in direct correlation with your kidneys and your adrenal glands. You get thrown off because it's a high blood pressure, but it's based upon your kidneys and your adrenal glands and your parathyroid and thyroid. All right, so Ariella said, can you speak on calcification causing things like schizophrenia? You gotta understand, schizophrenia is not dealing with calcification. Schizophrenia is actually dealing with the nervous system. Because remember, schizophrenia is dealing with multiple personalities and thoughts and messages. So anytime you're dealing with that, you're dealing with a nervous system, a distorted nervous system issue. And you said books to read too, foods to eat for those suffering from that. Well, y'all know y'all got my book. My book actually goes through that as well. The holistic transition, and then I have an ebook as well called Cleanse to Live. It actually the Cleanse to Live is actually more in depth on food combination and cleansing. So that's another good book to get, Cleanse to Live, which is on my website. But as far as books to read, huh?
Oh, sorry. I thought you was gonna take a break. I was gonna say, can I give her a herb suggestion for the schizophrenia?
Absolutely.
Holy basil. Research it. As well as go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say neem as well.
And the blue lotus flower. The blue lotus flower is psychedelic. It actually helps a lot too. Anybody else? Rashad, you got anything? Courtney, you got anything? I think Courtney, did you have something already, Courtney?
I'm just taking in all the information, man.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna test y'all next class. Next class is gonna be May 15th. And most likely we just gonna be on here because for some reason Zoom is acting up on my end. So most likely we gonna be on here. Ariella, you said you had one more? Okay. All right, y'all. Well, if that's everything.
Is this recorded?
Yep, I got you this time.
Yeah, drop the link because I gotta go back and watch again so I can make sure I get everything down.
Sure. All right. Yeah, so we all good. It's recorded. So that's everything, y'all. I'm gonna see y'all next week. And look, make sure all y'all join the Telegram chat because there's gonna be videos I drop in there, educational videos. There's gonna be other books that I'll be dropping in there. So make sure y'all very attentive in the chat because that's where a lot
Am
of
I in
information.
there?
I sent it to your email.
Wait. Oh, it's a new chat?
Yeah, the Telegram. It's in on Telegram.
Okay. I'm about to go to my email now and join.
I'm about to put it in our other chat today. All right, y'all. If that's everything, I'm gonna talk to y'all. I'm gonna talk to y'all next week or throughout the week till I see y'all on May 15th. Now let me ask y'all real quick before we go. For y'all's schedule, does this time work better or the original time at 12 o'clock p.m.?
Would it be 2 hours each class or was
No, this wasn't even gonna be long. At the most, it may be 1 hour and 30 minutes.
okay?
Yeah, this wasn't even. I just wasn't paying attention to time. That's the only reason we went over this time.
I just wanted to say that I personally like this time because I'm energized up. I just finished my noni juice around 2 or 3, so my mind be like really in that place of just focusing. So, and I'm up with good energy. So I like this time.
Yeah. Rashad?
Yeah, either time would work for me. Yeah, but yeah, this time is pretty good though.
Atara?
I would prefer the earlier time, but I can adjust things around if you pick this time.
Okay. Okay, we'll talk. We'll talk, see what works. But okay. All right, I just wanted to get y'all opinion on that. Because I didn't really want to do this time, but it may actually be best. But we'll talk. We got 2 weeks to talk about it. So we'll figure out. Tara, me and you personally talk.
Oh no,
We'll
it's
figure it out.
fine. This time, I mean, if you pick this time, it's fine. I'll just adjust. It's not like I'm extremely busy during this time, but around this time I like to get other things done in the house, but I'll just have to do it earlier. So this time will be fine.
Okay. Okay, cool. Well, let's do that then. Let's make it officially or the class is gonna be officially at 3 o'clock p.m. Every class is gonna be at 3 o'clock p.m. So make sure I mark that down. And I'm gonna be putting videos and stuff in the chat too. Y'all make sure y'all watch those. I'm gonna be randomly asking y'all questions throughout the week. All right. All right, family. Chrissy, I got your answer. Thank you. I got you. All right, y'all. I'm gonna see y'all next week. Peace.
All right, peace.
All right, peace.